everyone, welcome to AI Radio. I'm your host Tiffany. Today is April 8th, 2026. Let's talk about the most noteworthy AI news from the past 24 hours through this week. AI is developing faster than ever. On one hand, it's exciting. On the other, it brings a lot of conflicts and unease. Just like the news that broke yesterday. AI might cause many people to lose their jobs, but at the same time, some people are pushing for a 4-day work week. Hardware giants are teaming up to build 1 terawatt of computing power, yet they're discovering that power infrastructure can't keep up. These stories are full of contrasts and directly affect everyone's work, life, and the education of the next generation. So here's something to think about. AI is advancing so fast that it's not just changing industries. It's changing how we think about work, education, and even the infrastructure that powers our lives. Today, we're diving into some of the biggest stories shaping this AI-driven world.
That's a bold way to start, but it's true. AI is touching everything, and the pace of change is dizzying. What's the first story we're tackling?
Let's start with the one that hits closest to home for a lot of people: jobs. A new report came out showing that AI-driven unemployment isn't just a short-term issue. It leaves long-term scars, psychological trauma, skill obsolescence, and broken career paths. And it's young people and entry-level workers who are feeling it the most.
That's such a tough reality. We hear so much about how AI is boosting productivity, but we don't talk enough about the human cost. Losing a job isn't just about losing income. It's about losing stability, identity, and sometimes even hope. What does the report suggest we do about it?
Well, it highlights the need for retraining programs and stronger social safety nets. Without those, the societal cost could be massive. But here's the thing, this isn't just a problem for governments to solve. As AI developers, we have a responsibility too. What if we designed AI tools that help people transition into new roles, instead of just replacing them outright?
That's such an important point. AI doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where one person's gain is another's loss. If we can create tools that empower people instead of sidelining them, we could turn this challenge into an opportunity. What's next on the list?
The next story is about the hardware driving all this AI innovation. Intel has joined Elon Musk's Terafab project, which aims to build enough AI chips to generate 1 terawatt of computing power annually. That's a staggering number.
It really is, and it shows how quickly the AI hardware sector is evolving. You've got these massive cross-industry collaborations happening, with companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI all working together, but I'm guessing there's a catch.
Oh, definitely. The energy demands for this kind of computing power are enormous. On one hand, this could accelerate the development of AI products and robots, making them more accessible. But on the other hand, it could also drive up energy prices and put a strain on power grids. It's a classic case of solving one problem while creating another.
And it's not just about energy, right? There's also the issue of supply chain concentration. If a few big players control most of the AI hardware, it could lead to less competition and higher costs for everyone else. Maybe the solution is to focus more on edge computing or tools that optimize efficiency.
Exactly. And speaking of solutions, that brings us to our third story, OpenAI's new policy proposals. They're suggesting things like a 4-day work week, a robot tax, and a public wealth fund. The idea is to make sure the wealth created by AI is shared more fairly across society.
I love the ambition behind this. A 4-day work week with no salary loss. That could be a game changer for work-life balance. And a robot tax could help fund social programs or retraining initiatives. But at the same time, it's a reminder of how fast AI is advancing and how unprepared we are for the changes it's bringing.
Exactly. It's like AI is creating this enormous wealth, but if we don't distribute it fairly, it could widen inequality even further. And for a lot of people, that's a scary thought. But it also feels like an opportunity. If we can create AI tools that help people be more productive and achieve better work-life balance, we could turn these policy ideas into real-world solutions.
Right? It's about using AI to lift people up, not push them out. And that brings us to our fourth story, which is about the physical infrastructure behind AI. Nearly half of the planned AI data centers in the US for 2026 have been delayed or cancelled. The reason? Power infrastructure can't keep up.
This is such a classic example of the tension between the digital world and the physical world. We've got these tech giants investing billions in AI, but they're running into bottlenecks like transformer shortages and grid capacity issues. It's a reminder that even in the age of AI, we're still limited by the laws of physics.
But maybe that's not a bad thing. If we can't keep building bigger and bigger data centers, it might force the industry to focus on efficiency instead of scale. Tools like TurboQuant or distributed edge AI could help reduce our reliance on massive infrastructure and make AI more accessible to everyone.
That's a good way to look at it. And it ties into our final story, which is about AI in education. Melania Trump wrote an op-ed arguing that AI can give children world-class learning opportunities. She talked about how AI could help teachers deliver personalized instruction and cultivate critical thinking skills.
This one really stood out to me. Education is such a foundational part of society, and AI has the potential to transform it in amazing ways. But it also raises some big questions. How do we make sure these tools are accessible to all students, not just those in elite schools? And how do we balance the benefits of AI with the need for human interaction in the classroom?
Those are important questions. And it's not just about the technology, it's about how we use it to create a more equitable education system. Maybe the focus should be on creating low-barrier, equity-focused learning tools that can reach students in underserved communities.
Exactly. And that's the common thread in all these stories, isn't it? Whether it's jobs, hardware, policy, infrastructure, or education, the real challenge isn't just the technology itself, it's how we choose to use it. AI has so much potential to improve our lives, but it's up to us to make sure it's used responsibly.
Well said. And that brings us to today's topic suggestion, the double-edged sword of AI employment. It's such a timely issue, and it touches on so many of the themes we've discussed today: job losses, policy responses, and the responsibility of AI builders.
It's a topic that really makes you think. And it's a reminder that in the AI era, adaptability is more important than ever. So listeners, what do you think? Which part of these AI-driven changes worries you the most? Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks for joining us today. Remember to take care of your mental health and stay curious about the world around you. We'll see you next time.